count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it.
All right, everybody, what's up? What's up? First episode of Public Funds, the first episode. Yo, it's been a long time coming, but we've been wanting to do this for a couple years now. I kind of want to try to curse as least as possible though. But,
I'm about to say, Mama gonna be watching it.
Well, I don't care. I don't care about that. But nah, I don't care about that. But nah, Gito. But nah, literally. But we've been. This is a long time coming. We've been wanting to do this for a minute. You know, basically just a quick overview of what I want this to be. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, this gonna be whatever y'all say it is. So, what I wanted to be personally, just from okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna say what I wanted to be, and Brandon gonna say what he wanted to be. So I'm gonna go first since I brought it up. So what I think it should be is I want it to be a place where, you know, we kind of get understanding public wise, like we talk about, you know, the money of how everything's going, and not really so celebrity based. You know what I mean? I want to bring people on the show who, you know, actually doing something in the community business wise, whether it's a chef, business owner, t-shirt printer, you can own a floral shop, you know, any type of public fund. The real people, basically. A show for the people by the people. You feel me? And that's kind of, and still, you know, life happens on top of that. Life happens. So, like, still kind of incorporate, you know, few current events, things like that, because we both music lovers. Me and B Music, everybody who I deal with, we all music lovers. Back to T, Deja like music, a different type of music, but music this is a nonetheless. But nah, just you know, incorporate, you know, what we got going on, and kind of just give quick updates. You know, hopefully our visions align.
Yeah, my name Brandon. I go by the Pyramids. Most people know me. I'm a music producer. I'm here because I'm just now having things, so I'm learning how to move my money. I'm learning how to operate with bread. My investments. I got kids now, so I'm looking towards the future, what I could do with what my little change is. And I fucked up a lot of money. I know we were supposed to be getting on NPR with this, but I fucked up a lot of money, a lot in this music shit. So, yeah, I'm just learning. I'm gonna be here with Trey. Trey brought me on. This is my fourth podcast. So, yeah, I'm here. I'm podcasting. Fourth last, maybe.
Well, fourth and last anchored podcast, yeah. Like, cause we already been into talks of having some food shows and a few different things around that. So I mean, I guess the fourth anchor show, the fourth father show.
I say this is my first fully produced podcast. This is gonna be my first fully produced podcast. Not just doing the audio, but like we actually gonna be on the camera. We actually gonna be showing people ourselves and getting to the people. So yeah, I'm here to pod. I'm here to learn. I'm here to tell y'all my mistakes. And as I grow my business and as I grow my money, give y'all the information that I get.
Okay, I feel that. So, I mean, just off the top. First question, I got some notes written down basically. So I'm gonna ask you first, who are you and you know, why are you doing this? Basically.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a music producer. I work HVAC, electrical on the side, my little side hustle I went to school for. But yeah, I'm just here to learn about the money game. I feel like a person like you came up in a structure with, you know, business sense, and you know what to invest in, you know where you want to go. I really didn't have that anchor. I grew up in a house full of women, so they ass just blue check.
I mean, yes and no. I did grow up around a lot of business, you feel me, from you know, my grandfather starting to my dad. You know, my dad's a funny story. I kind of want to let him tell his story, but I'm going to tell a little bit of it.
See, I grew up, you know, the only man in my life was my grandfather, and he ran numbers in Opalaka. for the whole Opalaka. All he did was run numbers. So the money that I seen was all cash. And guess what? A lot of times, 9 times out of 10, it's either getting paid out or it's getting kept.
Right.
But I never knew like the actual business of money. Like I know people do the bookie now, but I knew the bookie when I was legit. Like,
right.
But that's all I knew. No. Hey, invest in this. No LLC. No loans. Nothing. Like,
that's the yes and no for me too, because even though, you know, I did see legit business going on, at the same time, you feel me, a lot of it was kind of going on and not being elaborated on, you know what I mean? So it's like you can know it's going on, but if you don't know what's going on, it's basically not going on.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's why I said I started from my grandfather, because my grandfather, he owned real estate and he did houses and he had a bunch of, you know, he's the founder of the McCrae's Barbecue and he did a lot of ribs and shit like that. So, but yeah, so he had a different type of diversity in his business. My father, on the other hand, not saying it's a bad thing, but my father, on the other hand, he dealt with murals and he dealt with art, more so art, and art has taken us a lot of places. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you feel me, when Dad was doing his business, you feel me, I was younger, so it was more so of, okay, I see you in the morning and I might see you at night, you feel me? But my dad, he hustling, you feel me? And then I know Jordans ain't cheap, so you know that's the part I see. I see the Jordans and I see us being able to do different types of things. And but just going a little bit into his story, my dad was a trash man, bro, for like shit. He was a trash man. I don't even think my sister was born. My dad was a trash man, and it's so funny. I wish I had my mom in here. She could tell it. So basically, he was working, right? And then he quit. But he quit. He didn't tell my mom he quit.
You should never. Hey, fellas out there, whenever y'all decide that y'all want to quit y'all job and go do y'all little whatever, don't tell your girl until you got some bread underneath you.
Well, no. He already, see, but that's the thing.
He
could quit, but he already was doing his thing. So it was like, bread still coming in, but it's like, yo, I don't even remember the real or whole story, but I just remember my mom telling me he quit, and he had been quit like 2 weeks for like he had been fired, or he had quit, and he had been like chilling for 2 weeks, but he was getting up going to work, so it really wasn't even like a, you know, womb. I don't even know how she ended up finding out, but I remember my dad. He ended up, next thing you know, he was at the flea market. He was hustling at the flea market for a while until he got a shop and he got a little office and whatnot. So, but that's his story. We'll probably have my dad on here.
That's the American dream. The American dream is coming from working for somebody else, or working in a corporate environment, or working just hustling, doing your little thing, and then having that seed, that little mustard seed of faith, that's gonna be your own entrepreneur. That's the American dream. And look, you could launch your family, you could plant more seeds for the future of your business and your name. And I just feel like that's the American way. That's what all of us are in this for, is to go from doing what we don't really want to do to doing what we want to do every day and getting paid for it. So, yeah.
So basically, the next question was about your background, but I mean,
I was gonna ask you, what was your understanding of money growing up? Like you said, oh, you knew the Jordans, you knew the stuff that you was getting, and the same thing for me. Like, I didn't know how many times I was going to Disney World, but I know I went a lot compared to other kids.
I think that's the number one reason why this podcast is gonna be important, because I think it's important for kids to understand what's going on around them. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's important for your kids to understand why you working. If you got 2-3 jobs, you gotta you know. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because I really don't think it's your kid's business sometimes, like that you working hard and doing this, that, and the third, because that can also plant a seed of guilt. You know what I mean? Like, if you a kid and you getting Jordans and you know your mama breaking her damn neck every day at work, it's gonna be like, I don't even want these. Like, if I'm gonna see less of you and you gonna have to do this, that, and the third.
That's a reasonable kid, but
that's a reasonable kid, but you have to think about it.
Most kids not reasonable.
Well, most kids aren't reasonable, but you have to think about it. You got to give your kids the credit enough to give them that side, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you can't really say most kids aren't reasonable if they weren't even given the opportunity to be reasoned with.
Because psychologically, you creating Santa Claus in their head regardless, so that when they come out and they 18, they like, oh shit.
I think that's selfish too, though. I think that's selfish too, though. I got one of my friends. He told me when his kids was like 3 or 4, he told them Santa Claus wasn't real. I just was like, come on, bro.
I'm a
you
Santa
gotta,
killer.
You want to kill?
I kill Santa.
But here's the thing, though. You have to think about the bigger picture. For me, is different. I don't want to kill your imagination, even though it sounds like a lie, and I know it's stupid. It sounds stupid, but it's like, I feel like you should believe in something, you know, because it's not even the fact that you should believe in something. Everybody around you believe in Santa Claus. It's gonna be like, well, who's the dick?
All right, so what's
it's like, who's the dick?
What's more valuable? Your child having that imagination of, well, it might not be that bad for me to get stuff, or them knowing the harsh reality of, hey, if I don't go to work, we might not have anything. What's worse?
I feel, okay. If you asking me a question, I'm gonna answer it. So the answer to me is, I feel like you should have something to believe in, and I feel like you shouldn't stress your kids out with your problems. That's how I feel. I feel like, okay, if you telling your kid, oh, well, nah, mommy and daddy went to work, but so you can get that Christmas ain't come from Santa Claus, it came from mommy and daddy. But it's just like, yo, your kids ain't got nothing. Listen, your kids ain't got nothing to do with the decisions that you made. Why you got to work so damn hard because you ain't make good decisions.
Gee.
So it's just like, yo, don't put that on them. They kids. They just want to have Christmas.
As I got older, I realized that with my own sons, I realized like my mom telling me what she couldn't do for me was kind of detrimental.
It make you feel like shit.
Because I'm like, damn, if my child say he want braces, I can't be like, oh, I gotta go to work 80 days for you to. I'm not gonna make you feel bad for something that you need. Like, I'm gonna just get it.
Exactly.
Like,
it's the need and the want thing. It's just like, it's like the happy medium. That's why I say imagination is good, because here it goes like this. It's not important to you. I can tell you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is more important of how I'm doing it. No, how I'm doing what I'm doing is more important of why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were 5 years old, because it's just like, oh, well, daddy got to pay mortgage, HOA. You see that car we got? I got to make sure it run. I got to put gas in the car. I got to do all this stuff. And it's just, and my jit looking at me like,
I seen Master.
All right, nigga.
I seen Master P on Breakfast Club with his 2 sons, Hersey and Mercy. Yeah, but I seen them on Breakfast Club.
Those are wild names.
Yeah, you got Percy Miller, Hersey Miller, Mercy Miller. But they was on Breakfast Club, and he was just telling them about how he made them into entrepreneurs by showing them what they don't, like, quote unquote, deserve to get out of life just because they dad got money. And they said that they even rode bikes to school. Like,
yeah, I seen that. I saw that.
Cars.
See, I understand and I get that, but at the same time, I feel like black people have been in such traumatic experiences growing up that it's like, yo, it's okay for your kids to have money, yo. It's okay for your kids to not have to struggle. Because why you gonna try to implant trauma into them that they don't have to go through, rather than just implant responsibility? Like, why let them know, hey, yo, listen, we gotta, I had to walk 8 miles in the snow to get here, and it's gonna make them feel like survival's guilt. It's gonna be like, well, damn, now I'm in the hood. And I feel like that more so along than anything breeds your kids going to school acting like thugs and because it's like they felt like, since my daddy was a thug, he was hard, I gotta be hard, and this, that, and the third. Nah, bro, be soft. Take your ass to school. Be an engineer.
I say, as you elevate, like they say, more money, more problems. As you elevate your family, the problem's gonna be there at the next level. But why would you want to have poor problems when you got bread? Basically what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's a difference.
I feel like there is problems that come with having money too with your kids. Like, the more money you get, they can that money up. They can themselves up with having the money.
I think it's more so the second side, because it's like, all right, have you seen Your Honor?
Yeah.
Have you seen Your Honor? Listen, I'm on episode 3. We're not gonna talk about nothing else than the first episode.
I seen the
We're not gonna talk about nothing more than the first episode.
I hate that.
We was watching Your Honor, right? And the first episode, dude was apparently he was a rich drug lord or something, whatever. I don't really know. I didn't get into his background yet.
The mob boss dad. So he bought his kid this vintage motorcycle, right? And the kid downhill from there. He basically went to the 9th ward or the 7th ward, you know. He went to the 7th ward, you know. And he went down there, and the other jit caught an asthma attack or whatever, and he ended up hitting him. Now, like, what kind of guilt do you gonna have? Is like, damn, I got him this motorcycle at 17. If I couldn't afford it's a vintage, like, it's a one of a kind. That's why I said it's
like, yo, my jit died. Like, my jit might not have died if I was poor. You feel me?
We just seen what Terrence Clark a couple days ago. Terrence Clark was a NBA prospect coming out of Kentucky.
Right.
Everybody's saying, all right, he's going to the draft in a couple weeks. He's going to the draft in a couple weeks. He's gonna be good. He out in LA wilding out in the car, going too fast, reckless driving. Kid died on impact, dead. No money
that's the
coming
story?
in. Yeah,
I didn't even know the story.
yeah.
So basically,
They just signed
died. I say he died in a car accident.
They
but how he
just signed the
died?
Clutch Sports out there in LA. You know that's Rich Paul.
Yeah,
LeBron.
Rich Paul joint.
So
Rich
they're
Paul joint.
out there. Him and BJ Boston, the other teammate. They went and signed they agent deal. So they out there wilding out, like being young. Like they're 18 years old. They don't. There's no reason for you to have a fast car in LA. People gonna give you whatever you want, but that ain't the point. You don't need it. And he ended up killing himself before anything could even happen for him.
Right. So yeah, I mean that's crazy as it is already, bro. Just like it's almost like the Jay Williams situation. You know what I mean? When Jay Williams was the number 1, number 2 draft pick, and he rode on a motorcycle and he popped like a wheelie or something, and he ended up tearing his ACL back when like modern medicine wasn't as good. Because if you think about Bo Jackson tore his ACL, bro.
Yeah.
Like Adrian Peterson tore his ACL. He was back the next season. Damn, he rushed for 2,000 yards the year after that.
AP ACL after the surgery at Oklahoma got to be examined because he came back strong.
No. Not even that. He tore his ACL in the NFL too.
After the MVP year.
And came back with
Now,
Brett Favre and rushed for 2,000.
I'm talking about the original one that had him out all them years in college. He played senior year almost. only.
AP different though, bro.
He is. He a horse.
Different, bro. He's still playing. AP a different kind of goon. He a different kind of dude, bro. Low key. But like getting back on course. So just going back into the sheet I got. I see what your background is. We basically interviewing each other this episode. You feel me? So what inspires you? Like that's something that I always want to know when I figured I'm gonna spend a lot of time with somebody, because knowing what inspires them, knowing what fuels them, it kind of like it gives you a better perspective on how they make decisions and the kind of decisions they make. Because people usually do things. People usually do things as far as in steps to go to a bigger picture. So you can say, hey, I'm working HVAC or whatever, so I can become da 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 or da 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 da, or I'm doing this just so I can make sure my kids can do blue XYZ da 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 da.
I say over time, when I was younger, it used to be self-centeredness. Like, so it just be like I used to like people that was flashy, go and buy the big chains for themselves, go buy the cars for themselves, house for themselves. But now it's just I'm a customer service based.
What's wrong with that though?
I didn't say nothing was wrong with that. I said that's what used to inspire me.
Oh, okay.
But now I feel like I'm in a customer service basis. Like I said, went to go get my HVAC license. That's to make sure people comfortable. It's called comfort cooling. It's a comfort business.
Right.
I'm inspired by companies and people that provide good experiences. I'm tired of the same boring shit. I go to Chili's. Chili's used to be the shit in the 90s. Y'all used to give me the whole experience, the commercial chili, baby, battery. I come there, it's a chili dressed up in a Hawaiian suit. I come there, there's fire going everywhere, fajitas. Now I come in there, everything microwave is bland. Y'all gave up on the experience.
It's been microwave though.
Yeah, but they didn't present it as microwave.
Touche. I can't even do the little jingle that you just did. I'm gonna be mean for that.
Don't. But that's all I like. Disney. I'm a Disney advocate. I've been going since a kid. I'm still paying right now. I've been to every park except for the one outside of the country. I've been to every single park. And my customer service experience, that my girl could tell you, I will pay the extra price to go to Disney over there and going somewhere else that's not going to accommodate me, not going to treat me right, not going to give me the experience that I'm paying for. And that's what inspires me is experience. I want people to pay me their money because they know that I'm going to get them something.
I like that. That's interesting. That's real interesting. I'm gonna ask myself the same question. What inspires me? You know what? I didn't even think to answer this question myself before I wrote it. It's a good question though. So I'm gonna do it on the fly. So what inspires me? Greatness inspires me. I like everything great. That's why like it's really hard. I always had a LeBron conversation because it's just like I like anything that's great. Like I like great things. I like people that aspire to be great. I like anything that's trying to go to the highest level. So greatness really inspires me. And after you have kids and your inspiration kind of like it shifts. So my inspiration is my kids also. It's just like just seeing how they think, seeing what they like. That inspires me to do different things. Helping people inspires me. Like, that's why I run a service based company. Like, what inspires me is when my customers are like, yo, you know what? I just like how I like your perspective on how you approach this project. You know, that inspires me. Seeing people, you know, try their best inspires me, because like perfection doesn't really inspire me. I think the effort of what you're trying to do, because it's almost like say George Washington Carver. He had thousands of uses for peanuts, you know what I mean? And like, imagine when he got to he did that first experiment with the peanuts and was like, damn, I can get peanut oil. Okay, bet. I can make this oil into butter. Bet. I can do da-da-da-da. Bet. I can do da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's just like basically squeezing out as many resources possible out of a single thing. So that's kind of what inspires me. I like greatness inspires me. I'm gonna just say greatness inspires me.
That's definitely true. Great. Anything great, I'm trying to beat it. I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to figure out how it works. Like right now, my thing right now is WWE, Vince McMahon, the whole company. Cause I'm trying to, like, anything that's been in American culture for over 100 years. I'm trying to figure out how, like, Vince McMahon really put his life and everything on the line to make sure that his dad company became what it is right now. And the WWE right now is like culture. It's the blood of America.
It's a culture.
It's with the NBA. It's with the NFL. Like, but before that, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Vince McMahon. I studied what Vince McMahon did. Like, that's greatness. Greatness from before I was born. Greatness from my time watching it, and greatness from after I stopped watching it.
I think it had to be so many different phases of the WWE as far as like as far as how it went down, because if I think about it from my earliest times of being able to recall the WWE or the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation, from back in the day.
You can't even say WWF no more.
You can't. You really can't even say WWF is WWE because it's entertainment. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's just, if you think about it, the cream always rises to the top. Think about all of the subsidiaries and the competitors they had when we was growing up. WCW, ECW.
To this day,
they had so many different people, and all of those.
AEW right now,
yeah,
you got all that wrestling.
Yeah,
going
and the thing is, they just were, they were competitors, and it was literally like a live action drama. Like, and the hardest part about all of it was they was all trying to outreal each other. You feel me? Because if you think about the WWF when we was growing up, it was really raunchy. They stripped somebody down and beat him with a belt one episode, and they had the chicken blood and shit. Like, Mankind was out here doing all kind of crazy stuff, bro. Like, it was pretty weird, bro. It was wild. Like, honestly, it really wasn't for kids. That shit was not for kids,
but
bro.
Put yourself in the CEO position. Like, I've been watching the good and the bad of that company. I was telling my girl, I said, I'm fascinated with this right now, but I can't allow myself to just study the greatness. I gotta see. All right, how did Vince McMahon move when one of the wrestlers died in the ring?
Yeah, how did he pivot that?
How did he move? He did
Great
it.
PR.
He did it though.
He did.
How did they do when the competitors were getting bigger in the 90s? WCW was bigger than WWF in the 90s for a majority.
It was, but it was cleaner. You have to think about also the other facets to that. Like, we have to have this conversation as 10-year-olds. You feel me? Because we didn't know about the FCC and different things like that. Because if you think about TV, when we was growing up, we're not even that old. I'm not even that old. I'm 30. When I was growing up, we might have had 50 channels. You know what I mean? And the older I got, the channels started to expand. But just thinking about the FCC, D-Generation X, they was saying suck it on TV. And like, it was wild. We had kids going to school, like, telling other jits to suck it, bro.
I
but listen, imagine being a teacher. You see somebody say suck it, and you know, suck what? Suck what, jit? What?
The late 90s WWF, unmatched. But that's all I was saying is when you was like greatness, and when I was saying the customer service, like, nobody give their customers the service like the Vince McMahon.
Service as far as what?
You know the moments in wrestling when you watching it as fan service.
Okay.
Like, all right, we're going to bring Stone Cold out.
Yeah.
We're going to bring The Rock back out. He ain't wrestled for 3 years or whatever.
It was very climactic.
But
to say the least. Extremely climactic.
Think about it like, I think about it like this. Those type of moments that he was doing to us when we were 10 years old, how do they sustain by doing that, like, even right now to the younger generation? Like, what's the formula, like, still with Disney too, with WWF? What's the formula on keeping that longevity for that many years. Like,
it's damn near impossible.
Right?
Like, honestly, I think what they depend on more so is the dads like us that was really into it to kind of pass that along to their kids, because if you think about it, back then they were really doing some raunchy shit, but at the same time it wasn't as much competition. You competing with 50 other channels that are completely different. Like like WWE's not competing with the History Channel. They're not competing with Discovery.
But they're
kind of competing with ESPN, but
I
not
was
really.
Say they're competing with NFL and NBA on Fridays and Mondays.
Low key, because the XFL was a thing. And Vince McMahon owned
Monday
the
Night
XFL.
Raw was coming on at the same time as Monday Night Football, and it did not miss a beat.
It was. I mean, because I think
it's hard.
I can't even, just from my perspective, we was huge. Me and my brother was huge wrestling fans.
But you still knew Monday
My
Night
sister
Football.
used to get
man.
pedigree all the time. But it was, we were huge fans of wrestling. We weren't as huge of we were fans of football, but we were more so fans of Madden than football. I think that's what it was. We was more so fans of Madden than football. And as I started playing football in middle school and high school, you know, I kind of started getting more into that. And it crushed me when I found out it was fake. It crushed me, bro. Because we went to a few events, like, and the thing is, when I found out it was fake, before we went to our first, my dad took us to like Lauderdale, and we went to the thing, and we seen the Hardy, and I was like, yo, I don't give a damn what y'all say.
You went to one of the untelevised events?
Nah, we went to the Raw. We went to Raw. It's weird because they would film Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
They would film both of them on Monday and Thursday. And it was just, we didn't know that because the guys of live TV wasn't really a thing growing up. You didn't have real social media wasn't existing.
It say live,
so
on
you
the
can tell
thumbnail,
you
live.
can tell whatever it was. These dudes is at home watching it like afterwards. But like, yo, I remember seeing The Rock, bro, and just thinking like, yo, The Rock was bigger than life, and he was huge. Rock's like 6'4", 6'5", yeah.
Vince McMahon was able to have a business that as big as The Rock, which is $1 billion business on its own. The Rock is $1 billion business.
The Rock is $1 billion business for sure.
Along with Stone Cold, along with Triple H, along with all these other multi-million-dollar, what you would say, assets. That's how I think about, like I said, the Disney company,
the assets,
Marvel.
Well, I was assets. I almost look at them as SKUs, bro. Like they're almost their own SKU alone as far as like items. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin is a brand. Yeah. He's a brand. It's like WWE. You can look at it as a like. Let's look at it like let's just talk about inanimate shit like cereal, right? You could think WWE is like Kellogg's, but nah, WWE was more so like Walmart. And all the wrestlers were like their own different item. Like you got people who love Stone Cold, people who love The Rock, and who associate the different characteristics of The Rock. And then it wasn't even more so. The Rock was so big that it was like a third notice that he was black. Like it was a third notice. Like the first thing you went to wasn't like, oh, he looked like me. It was more so like, nah, this dude is like charismatic as hell.
I was telling my girl that too earlier about why I got like why I in my business brain was I going back to WWE is because it was all encompassing. Like like I'm answering my question as I'm talking about it, but the reason why it works for so long is because it has something for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're a hardcore guy, it's hardcore wrestling in there too. If you're a classic guy, it's classic wrestling in there too. It's nostalgia. It's some new in there. Some women in there. Whatever you, I feel like they all encompassing.
I think each character brought so much to the plate. Like The Rock was like, you know, the playboy, like cool movie star dude. He wore glasses and shit. Like he was cool. You know what I mean? Stone Cold Steve Austin was like, he was like white trash, low key. Like, yo, he used to signal out in the crowd, and beers would just come to full. Like, he signaling the crowd. He drinking like Natty Light or whatever, or Miller Light, but no, he was drinking Budweiser. He was a Budweiser guy, and it's just like, yo, if you white and you kind of like middle America ish, you gonna f with Stone Cold just off the strength because
Don't
it's
even
like
know that this ain't like that in real life. Nowhere near that.
Oh my god.
You said what?
I said he said.
Damn.
God, we gotta edit that.
You can bleep it out. I'll bleep it out.
But no, anyway, shit.
But the people that you were describing, they fall in there under that term.
They do. They fall. They do. But like, cause you got D'Lo Brown and Dudley
Godfather.
Boyz. Yo, this is not a wrestling podcast.
I'm sorry, y'all, but this has been my y'all wanted to know where I was at right now. You asked me the question. This is where I've been at right now.
Oh, you on the wrestling tip?
You
on the wrestling tip?
Nah, but
okay.
I was thinking about it business wise too. Like,
yeah, business wise, I feel that.
Business wise, it's one of the biggest businesses in American history.
Yeah. So, moving on. So what's all right? Because I know you're a producer, and this is really just a discovery show. So you're a producer, so I'm gonna ask you first, then I'm gonna answer. What's your favorite album and why?
Favorite album is right here on my arm. I tattooed it on me. I don't even have to listen to it no more. But it's The Graduation by Kanye West. That was like my 12th or 11th grade year in high school. And I just never heard nothing like it before. I never heard the samples mixed with the synthesizers and the clean vocals coming out. And I could hear everything Kanye was saying. I could hear everything that everybody on the album was saying. And it was just the purple, the colors, just the hue of the album, the style behind the album. Just everything at that time was perfect for me. And it inspired me. Like, it still inspired me to this day. Like, the beats that I make, the choices that I make, a lot of that stuff come from that album. Sonic wise, that album could stand up to majority albums right now and still beat them.
What, The Graduation?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, like, that's my favorite album. That was just like the perfect timing, perfect aesthetic.
What were you doing in the time of that album? Like, Graduation was like what? 07?
I was graduating high school.
07? What year was it?
08, 07, 08.
I think it was 07 or 08.
So I was in
Somebody
11th
fact check
grade.
that.
I was in 11th grade.
I
just know my mom came home bogus.
What year were you?
I'm 09.
09? Yeah, so it was my senior year, so it was 07, 08. So Graduation, you say. So what were you doing? What made it such a pivotal album for you?
September 11th, 07.
Yeah.
September 11th. Oh yeah, you know what? It came out on 106 in Park when he was going against 50 for the album sales, and that honestly, that moment right there is one of the biggest moments in history as far as the culture shift from gangster rap to backpack.
Yeah, that, and it was like the end of the people supporting 50 Cent because that was his first L that he took.
Wasn't, but the thing is, it really wasn't an L because it was the massacre.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a massacre.
That was Curtis.
Oh yeah, Curtis was terrible.
And Curtis was the end.
Curtis was terrible.
So I remember
Curtis was terrible. It was marketed, but I think he knew it was bad. I think he knew he lost the juice because Curtis wasn't. What was the lead off single? Was it?
If it wasn't for Kanye,
AO Technology? Yeah. Was it AO Technology?
It was AO Technology, and it was I Get Money.
I Get Money was straight though.
I Get Money was straight, but it was like this. Kanye West gave 50 more sales.
Oh, easy by far.
By going up against some business wise.
I don't even think he should have did that.
Nah, he shouldn't. But that was at that time I was wrestling. I was just by myself a lot. I just remember being by myself, having my first car. I had an Oldsmobile Alero.
Oldsmobile, that's lit.
I got my CD, and I was going between Plies.
Plies was a moment.
Kanye, Ross. Yeah, Plies was a moment, but that Graduation that just changed my life as far as the music that I wanted to listen to. I had been going to Kanye West concerts since I seen him at Olympic Park in Atlanta. That was my first show, College Dropout tour. And I had bought tickets to Glow in the Dark. I was in high school at that time too, and then Graduation came out, 808s. But
you know what's funny about that album, bro? Tekashi actually designed that album cover.
You mean Murakami?
Tekashi Murakami, and this is in 07, 08.
Yeah.
And he didn't really blow up over here to, I guess, us to like, what, 14,
It didn't
15?
blow up into... Nah, it was blowing up on the low, like on Kanye University, like the Kanye website. He used to put up his art before the Graduation cover. So whoever was on that, like, I feel like some of the coolest people was on that Kanye University website.
I mean, bro, Cause did 808s and Heartbreaks. And like, the thing is, when people didn't even know Cause, you know Cause now. So you go back and you be like, damn, that's Cause.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that we on is because of Kanye.
I give Kanye the praise.
All this crazy stuff. I ain't know none of that.
Virgil and Da Vinci designed the cover for Watch the Throne. Like, if you look at the Kanye covers, the Kanye covers are art pieces, bro. Like,
that's why
like,
I did this. I did this because I wanted
He got like some of the biggest artists on his shit.
I wanted the Murakami on my skin because I hadn't seen everybody. I seen everybody like putting the artwork on different stuff, And I was just like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna play this album no more, but I'm gonna put it on my skin. And now I'm what 220. This 2021, I play. Can't Tell Me Nothing. My son, that's his favorite song. Like,
Yeah, it's lit.
it's the synthesizers. It's the oh
Yeah,
and then it's his Kanye singing. It's just
with
that-
the Jeezy ad libs.
yeah. It's a that music right there.
Jeezy ad-libs.
That's timeless music right there. Like Graduation, I can't beat it.
Well, what was I doing? And okay, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna lead with this too. So I want you to give me your take when I give you mine. So in 07, 08, I graduated in high school in 08, and like you said, it was a really weird time for Palm Beach just in general. But we're not gonna talk about Palm Beach. But Plies, like I'm like this. You said Plies. I don't think that the
All three first albums I had
listen,
on Plies.
the kids don't know now. Like, yo, Plies had a hold
Yeah.
on. I don't know if it was a down south thing, but yo, Plies was huge.
Plies had the
his
streets.
first 3 albums, bro. Classics. Classics.
I debate anybody about this.
Listen. I will debate you to the T that it's very few people who have a first 3 album run like Plies.
Even singles
Plies
to right
had
now.
a run, bro. Plies had a run, dog.
What you got to say, T?
Hold on,
I
T.
was saying that Black Letter was a classic.
Yeah, listen, bro. But I mean, 07, 08 was crazy, bro. That was the year I graduated high school, and I remember that Kanye album being a huge influence on, everything that we was doing. That's when people was wearing the swag scarves and all that. T.I. had just dropped Paper Trail. I think Paper Trail came out that year, or one of the T.I. last really good albums. It was 07, 08 was a thing, but asking myself the same question. Brandon's supposed to be asking me these questions, by the way. Y'all. He's dropping the ball.
What album
He's dropping
inspired
the ball.
you in your adolescent age?
My adolescence age? Well, my favorite album? My favorite album is, it's pretty easy. Even though I got the Wiz artwork up here, that was a pretty big shift. But my favorite album of all time is the Carter One.
Carter One.
And that came out freshman year of
that's
high
tough.
school. So the Carter One is just like,
That's one of
the
my
holy
biggest
grail.
inspirations too.
I would think I can also put that as one of my biggest inspirations, the
Yeah.
Carter One. The Carter One was crazy for so many reasons, bro. The Carter One was just like a shift in my from my being a kid to like a teenager. I feel like the Carter One was like my child, a teenager age, and it just was like was so rebellious, bro.
All real is once you got a dose of like Lil Wayne, Carter 1, Carter 2, it changed your mind about the world. It changed your outlook on the world.
It did.
I was a T.I. was my favorite rapper at that time, but
He dropped down with the King.
It was
around that time.
It was what was that? Trap. What the album is?
Urban Legend.
Urban Legend. Urban Legend was the biggest thing in the world.
It was let me finish. So it's the Carter One for a bunch of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons was I was going from the 8th grade to the 9th grade, and it was that summer, and it was me and like a few other people we was practicing, and we played football. And I remember the seniors and the older people. Both of my brothers, they was playing on. They was seniors that year. I was a freshman. There was seniors, and the Carter One. So I remember me having Kazaa. I had Kazaa and I had LimeWire. So it was Kazaa first. So I had Kazaa and I had a CD burner. Not a lot of people had a CD burner, so I had a CD burner, and I remember going to practice that day, and my brother had just bought the Carter One. He was listening to it in his room. He was listening to he would run track number 10. Like, track number 10 played all day, every day.
Earthquake?
Nah.
What's
I
track
got
number-
it back, got it
on the front.
What cooking the
We
one
ain't getting
rolling
no
the blunt.
NPR.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm censoring myself, but I just remember running that, and then we used to go to the listen to it, the CD player, the little handheld CD players with the little anti-shock.
The
And everybody used to be
Walkman.
like, "Oh, Trey, you got that? Let me get that." And the saying one time, one of them took my album. Right? He took it. And I was gonna tell my brother, I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep it cool. I ain't gonna tell him that. So he took it and he was like, me borrow it. And then he was giving it back. He actually came back the next day and was like, oh, here go the album. I said, oh, I'm straight. I burnt another one. You can keep that one. And they found out I could burn CDs. I might have burnt the Carter One like 40 times. I mean,
How much money you think you missed by not selling burnt CDs?
How much money I spent? Well, I actually did. That was my business. That literally. Well, I'm getting into the point. That started my business of burning CDs and doing mix CDs and stuff like that.
That was gonna be my last question to you. What was your earliest hustles?
My earliest hustles? Ooh, I got a few. So my first hustle, bro, I'll never forget it. My first hustle was you know what? I love that question. That's a question I want to ask every guest. So write that down, Deja. But my first hustle, bro, I was in the 5th grade, and what was really big in the 5th grade, I don't remember the exact year, but Dragon Ball Z, they had just started playing Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network after school. So I could draw, and I still can draw pretty well. So I would draw people pictures of Goku and draw like anime, and people was literally buying my art from me for like 50 cents, $1, and like shit, by Friday I have like $8, $10 just off quarter pictures of Piccolo, and I'm doing it off the dome. I'm not just a pencil and some paper. I'm shading, I'm making Super Saiyan, and if you gave me a few extra bucks, I'll throw some color pencil on there and give you a nice little golden aura. I'm drawing Cell, and I was drawing pictures, and after that was literally after that we was burning CDs. But that was my earliest remember is drawing pictures for people.
Yeah, I'm throwback. First hustle I remember was in middle school, Highland Oaks. My dog Sammy mom used to have had a Costco card, so she used to go get the big boxes of chips and Capri Suns. At that time we would drink Kool-Aid Jammers. So we'd go and freeze the Kool-Aid Jammers. We'd get the bag of chips, and before we hit the bus pickup, we'll get picked up in the morning, we'll be done sold chips, we done sold our frozen Kool-Aids, and then when we get to school, if we got a little extra on us, we go ahead and sell those off. And that's how for our birthday that year, I think we bought each other matching jerseys, Astro jerseys. If you look at throwback jerseys,
I was balling.
We had the Astro.
I was balling.
We broke our bread down and we went and bought some Astro jerseys for each other's birthday, and
that's lit.
That was our first hustle. So
that's lit.
It's like that led to me selling weed and later, but I was like busting down the chips and busting down the Kool-Aid. That's selling weed. So yeah, that led to other things. But this has been
first episode, first of many.
Public Funds. I am Brandon, aka The Pyramids. This is
Trade.jpg.
And we out, man. Before we go, like if y'all wanna email us or ask us any questions, y'all could hit me up or follow me at The Pyramids. That's THEPYRVMIDS on Instagram and Twitter.
My social handles are, if you want to follow the company page, Direction Branding is at Direction spelled traditionally _branding, or my personal page Trade.jpg, and on Instagram is Trade.jpeg. We out.
Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it.